Ooh, baby, we got a wild one for you this week.
That's right. We're here to talk about topography,
Who voted for Donald Trump?
online dating,
Being the last party girl.
doing comedy,
And being a humorist.
plus a little bit of criticism from your grandmother.
Yeah, baby. This ain't gonna work for me.
You eat the flats or the drumsticks?
I eat the drums. Well, I eat it all. I'll eat anything.
You apparently.
I prefer a chicken thigh. We'll be
Danielle
back with
Perez
it.
is on the show with us today, and we're getting into everything, anything, all of it.
You can't overcook a chicken thigh.
Goodbye.
Oh.
Mom!
When your first choice is a big old bus,
You turn around and boom, you end up with a sloppy seconds. Oh, diva. Our number is 213-536-9180. Our email is sloppysecondspod@gmail.com. Now on with the show. Hi, you slops, you stupid little fucks, you nasty little fucks, you dirty little fucks. Welcome to Sloppy Seconds with Big Dipper and Meatball. And Meatball, and that's Big Dipper.
hello.
Hello.
I have been thinking
Who are
about
you waving at?
just Heather.
Hey, girl. Hey, girl.
There are other people in this building.
I like to pretend they are not.
You think it's yours.
It's me in my home.
yours and yours alone. I do want to talk to you about something you said to me yesterday.
Twat.
Well, you told me a story about about a man who was getting ready to come over to have with you.
Yes.
And then later you sent me a voice note about a man who had come over previously to have sex.
He did not come over. I had gone to where he was.
So you're in that double header moment.
I've been having
You're hitting him
multiple.
with the boom boom pow.
Yeah, for about the last 2 weeks, I'd say I've been having with multiple people in one day.
And
Like almost every day.
are you
At least every other day. It's been a lot.
And how do my shoes feel upon your feet?
It's been great. I mean, I've been coming so much. You know what I mean? I don't know what it is. I just need to get the cum to the people. Glorios, public parks, parking lots, my house. I think also since I've opened up my house to hosting people, it's been different.
It's ban.
Because I can just be on the app and be like, yeah, just come over.
And who did you have to have the conversation with to open up your house to hosting?
Me, my cats.
You just had to be okay with people seeing your spot.
Yeah, and I was like, whatever, who cares? Like, come over. Look at my weird living room. Come to my bedroom that's like 70s wallpaper. What's funny is no one comments on anything. Like, they see it and they just are like,
Well, the lore here is like we're talking like if you're like that you live in a fun house.
yeah.
It's a decorated home, but it's not like crazy. It's not like you walk in and gravity disappears and you're on the ceiling. Like what if they're just gonna be like, oh, did
Give
this?
it back. Although in my in my downstairs bathroom, I have a painting of Ariana holding Cynthia Erivo's finger, and I had to like change that out.
That's like too.
That's too gay.
Well, it's also just like too soon. Like, how is it already a painting?
I think the guy painted it and sent it to me like the day after it happened.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, so that's happening, and I'm having a wonderful time.
Shout out to you.
But this man,
yeah,
I came, he came, and then he goes.
we all came.
We all came
for
together.
Ice cream.
Brambleberry crisp. The good Brambleberry crisp ice cream. That's the only good ice cream. Jenny's. I got a story about Jenny's too.
Okay.
But right after he came, he goes, "I'm married. I shouldn't be doing this." And I went, "What?" And he
Did
goes,
he stare
"I'm
you-
married. I'm down low. I'm married." And I was like, "Oh, okay." And then he goes in to try to kiss, like make out with me more. And I go, "Huh." Then we did. And then he like just left the car. And I went, "I don't know how I feel."
Left the car.
Yeah, it was in my car. That was the first one. That was earlier in the day. And then the second guy came over later in the night.
Were you on a public street?
Parking lot. No, it was like in a parking lot. But like, it was like hidden. What?
Go off,
I
queen.
stopped going to therapy. I'm off my meds. I stopped going to therapy. I'm not doing any drugs, and I've decreased my drinking. And now I'm so horny all the time.
Wow. I have been getting duped on Sniffies.
Let me spit my gum out.
Do you need somewhere to put it?
I'll just swallow it.
No, you can set it down. Put it on the top of your can of Red Bull.
Gone.
I have been getting duped on Sniffies a lot.
What happened?
This has happened like 3 or 4 times as of late, where I'm like messaging back and forth with someone. They send photos. We're chatting. We're like making plans for the future. Like this just happened. Like I was like, oh, come to this thing I'm doing on Tuesday where I'm having like 4 or 5 guys together. And he was like, oh, I'm so down. This sounds great. And he's like, we're gonna be friends. He was like, this is so awesome. You're like, I can't believe we haven't met before, like this whole thing. And then come Tuesday, he was like, I was like, I can text you the information. What's your number? And he was like, I sort of wait until we meet up in person to give my number. And I was like, that's fine. I was like, then I'll message you tomorrow with the information for the group. And then hit him up, nothing. Hit him up again,
That's happening.
nothing.
That's
Hit him up
happening a
again.
lot.
And then and then his account disappeared.
I just chalk it up to like, it's the apps. No one owes you anything.
I agree.
No one knows anything. Like, it's just like whatever happens, happens, and that's it. And it's like, I don't know. Something similar happened to me where the guy was literally like, oh, like we did hook up. And then he was like, can't wait to do that again. And then like when I hit him up again, it's just seen and like
Yeah.
nothing. And you're like, okay, well then just be like, just block me or delete messages or like something. Give me a hint because you were the one who was like, I want to do this again. Not
Right.
you. but
No,
the other
not
guy.
me.
Okay, another weird thing happened to me
Tell me.
where I go over to this man's house.
We do have a guest today.
Yeah, they're coming.
We'll get to them. Keep going.
We'll get. You're fine
She's
over
fine.
there. She's not in the room with us. Don't worry, you guys.
Can you imagine?
What
We're
if we were?
Wait it
Well,
out.
remember we used to do that.
I
We used to
know.
have like a full 15-minute segment, like the person wasn't sitting right next to us.
Well, that was the old.
That was the old
us.
one. That was the old us before we knew what we were up to.
Okay.
So I get to this guy's house after like we chatted back and forth, and he's asked me the same question like 3 times, and I was like, something's weird about this. I get over there. He does not look like his photos. Every photo is an old photo. He is just a different sized human being now. I'm not fat shaming, but he was fat fishing. He was using old pictures. And like none of the, I should have known. The minute it's like an old grainy like photo,
Yeah.
it just don't go.
Well, we all have the new phones, which make all of our photos the same. Remember?
Yes. And so I get over to his house, and it's just like beautiful, like decoration, but it's a mess inside. Like everything's a mess, and there's that weird smell in the air, which I think is meth, but I've never actually like smelled meth. And he's talking.
You just snorted it.
Yes, but I've never smelled like the burning of it. And so then we get into his room, and he goes, "Okay, so this is my room. I just like I just don't want anything wet on this surface." And it was like he was just like talking a bunch, and then I look over, and he was like, "I was just watching porn, and it's like fart licking porn."
Like our friend.
And he gets naked, and and I was like, "Oh, what kind of lube do you have?" And he like pulls up a thing of lube, and I go, "Oh, no. I like a water-based. I have one in my car. I'm just going to go get it." And as literally, I walk out his front door. As I'm walking down the stairs back to my car, I block him. And I just get in my car.
A taste of your own medicine.
Because I couldn't. That wasn't a taste of, no one's ever left in the, like, before it started for me.
You told the story with Ryan on the pod about leaving, and then the guy blocked you. That he stopped in the middle.
Oh, right. That did happen the other week, huh? But we didn't start anything.
I'm not saying that you should have gone
But
through
when I
with it.
saw the meth pipe on the bed, like on the
There you go.
nightstand next to him, and he was like overly chatty, and then he like gets on his bed, and he's like, it's like air linked to his iPad, and he's like scrolling. He's like, "What kind of porn do you like?" And it was just.
How was he sitting on the bed?
Like, okay, so he answered the door fully clothed. He gets just butt ass naked. And he goes, "You can get naked," and I'm like, "Yeah," and he like gets down. He lays like
Sideways.
Rubenesque. Yeah, and he's like looking at me.
Posing for his Renaissance portrait.
And I was excited because he was like hung bottom, like all this stuff, and I was like, you're not. And I was
You're
like,
not
I don't even think you're not giving what these photos were giving. I'd show you because like the difference was insane. But yeah, I blocked his.
And then I blocked his.
I don't even think the picture of his butt were his because it was like a big, hairy, and then his wasn't like hairy.
Yeah, I would just encourage people to use their photos.
I would rather you look at the recent photos of me and go, actually not really my type, than me get there and you go, I'm gonna go to my car
Car and
and
get the
get
kind
some
of lube I
I
like.
like. That
Thank
was
you for
crazy.
coming to
My
my
show.
show.
Just the whole time, like the minute I stepped in, I was like, how do I get out of this?
Yeah, and sometimes I will
And he was
say
like so eager and he was nice and like happy, but definitely on meth.
I will say from back in the day, like when I was hooking up every single day, and sort of blazing a trail for you was really
Tell me why.
was really what I was doing. But back in
Tell me why. Yeah, turn it down.
I'm turning it up.
Turn it up.
Back in the day when I was wake that up. Back in the day when I was doing that kind of behavior, I would sort of get to a point in the week where I would go like, I'm not even like I'll be horny once I'm in the situation, but like I'm mostly doing this out of routine.
Yeah, I also think I've been like very stressed lately.
And you're like, this is
Uh,
a fun
This
thing
is
that
a
has little
little to no
consequence.
consequence.
And you don't really like I guess it's the kind of thing. It's like with work stuff, you feel like, oh, I have to answer these emails. I'm beholden
No, I
to
don't.
these people. We're
Speaking of answering emails, you were on your big one this morning. I was like, he must have been busy this weekend or something because he was finally answering stuff from last week.
yeah, but that stuff isn't as time.
But it was time. It was timing.
Well, I had already sent him the stuff. I had sent him photos. I was just traveling, so I wasn't by a scanner. So I was just
I just
following up
filled it out on like a PDF on
with
my
a
computer.
properly scanned
Oh no!
thing.
I just have my signature saved into my phone.
So he had already had that contract from last week.
Tell me why.
You guys, we're going somewhere. Do you have another clue? You said before the sushi will be fresh.
Someone walked up to me at Precinct and was like, I know about where you're going. I know the girls over there and I'm going to be at that show. And I was like, oh. And then they showed me a bunch of pictures of themselves in drag and they were like,
all I'm saying is we may or may not
get a lot of pictures with.
Okay, well, you're going very obvious.
Oh.
I was going to say,
Bleep that.
we may or may not meet a star of a reality show that I have raved about on this pod. That's sort of a deep cut.
Yes.
But a good clue.
Have we interviewed them before?
Well, no, we haven't. We may.
Were they on Dracula?
Were you on Dracula?
I had a friend last night go, I'm trying to support you and so I'm going to watch Dracula season 1. And I go, she was on season 2 and she won. And I'm on season 1 and don't watch it. And he goes, do you not like it? And I go, no, it's just not good. Like, no offense if you're a fan. But it's just like, it was like a new show. It was like, it's not good. Like, they didn't know what they were doing. And then he sent me a video of Foxy Ajwe on stage. And he goes, actually, this is not for me.
All right. Well, let's take a break. And
Tell me why.
We'll be back with our very special guest momentarily.
Bye now. You know, sleep is so important to living a healthy and happy life. I know if I don't get enough sleep, I am cranky. It affects me in the weirdest ways. I just start talking. I'll say anything.
Yeah, not getting enough sleep has a huge effect on all of our lives and all of our moods. But getting sleep on a bad mattress, I'm like, that's even worse. Having a good mattress is key to having a restful sleep. And that's why we love our Helix mattresses. I get great sleep on mine.
Yeah, I love my Helix mattress. I literally can't wait to get into it. I sleep like a baby in it.
I know since we got our mattresses, my sleep quality has completely changed.
And when I have people over and they sleep in the bed, baby, they go, this is the most comfortable mattress. I go, Helix. Get you one. Use code SLOPPY.
Helix is great because all you do is you take a quiz online, and then based on your answers, you get to find the best mattress match for you.
And they have lots of different models to choose from. So if you're a side sleeper or a back sleeper, or if you run hot when you sleep, they've got something just for you.
And before getting my Helix, I had never ordered a mattress online. The process is so easy. You don't have to go to a mattress store. You don't have to deal with the salesperson. You just click, 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 and then they ship it right to your door, and you just take it out of the box.
So if you need to upgrade that old lumpy, dumpy, bumpy, slumpy mattress, go get a Helix.
Go to helixsleep.com/sloppy for 20% off site-wide.
That's helixsleep.com/sloppy for 20% off site-wide.
helixsleep.com/sloppy. And I gotta tell you, those dream pillows they got, those things are amazing.
I'm gonna go order one right now. And we're back. It was better a second ago.
That's on you.
Back. And please welcome to the stage.
Do you think there'll ever be a world when you just welcome people back without singing?
It has been notated to me.
It's been
that
some years.
someone has stated that they're tired of hearing the Wicked riff. And to them I say, then you weren't here from the beginning. Because it's always been a Wicked
You're not a true
podcast.
fan.
You're a fake fan. Please welcome to the stage the comedian, actress, and a full-time diva. It's Danielle Perez.
Hi, Danielle.
I love it. If you have a diaphragm, use it.
Oop.
Ooh.
Say that.
You mean like the one that you put in your butt so the cum doesn't get to your ovaries?
I think people put it somewhere else.
I put it in my butt.
You
I'm
do.
trying to catch the cum.
Ooh,
Like
you
a
want to
little-
save it for later?
A little
Yeah,
dish.
you
Little
to-
snack
you
pack?
you add it, and then you get the devil's.
The devil's.
It's when you fill a condom with a bunch of different and then you freeze it.
And then you just like a little popsicle in the
Yeah.
summertime.
Lollipop, I'm gonna
Lollipop.
lick it.
Little refreshing treat.
Well, I think if
Something
you were
nice
to
for the
fill a
summer.
diaphragm, it'd be more like the devil's frisbee.
But I would use the diaphragm
Oh, as the device to
like
collect.
a diva cup.
Speaking of divas,
Hello.
It is the diva.
how are you?
I'm good. I'm happy to be here. I'm just happy to be here.
We're happy to have you. It is like weirdly unseasonably warm, which sounds like a weird thing to say in Los Angeles, but
It's
like
hot outside.
It's hot.
we have
I had to run my air conditioner yesterday.
Oh my God.
fire, rain, heat. What's going on? Global warming.
Global warming.
It's a crisis.
It is. Yeah, I had to evacuate my Nana and my mom.
Oh my god, that must have been so intense.
So you didn't have to evacuate,
I
right?
didn't. I
Yeah.
had.
Stop accusing people. We've all been through the fires.
No, but I was
No,
just
no,
like,
but
I guess the question was, you're still at the same house?
I'm still at the same
Yeah, okay.
house. So like I was trying to evacuate my mom from Eagle Rock to my house in Glassell Park, literally 5
Mm.
minutes away. She didn't have power. The
Yes.
flames were visible from her house. And
Yeah. That's horrifying.
she did not want, she was like, but what if I just was outside picking grapefruit? I was like,
You're
maybe don't perish. Maybe you stop disassociating and understand it's an emergency
Get in the
situation.
car.
Come on over to the house, Mom.
Get in the
Right.
car.
That is crazy.
Yeah, it was so intense.
Really nuts. But my Nana, I had to get a dress tailored for a premiere the next
Uh-huh.
week, but LA was on fire.
So that was
So-
her main concern.
Wait,
So-
what premiere was she going to?
The Night Agent,
Oh, okay, we're gonna talk about it.
Night Agent 2.
Night Agent season 2.
Season 2. Okay, so she was focused on the dress.
So Nana, she really thought she was on vacation. We got her out of her retirement community. She stayed at my sister's
Mm.
in El Sereno. And my sister was like, okay, Nana, so I'm going to make lunch. And she's like, well, what are the options? She said, I'm sorry, what?
Ah!
Oh,
And she said, at Villa Gardens, we get a menu.
Oh my God.
It's like, Nana, it's a state of emergency. Like, you're going to get what you're going to get.
That is hilarious. That would be me, though.
she was like,
And what are my options?
because I'm curious if I'm having today the chicken or the beef.
Right?
Yes.
She said, what's the soup of the day? She
Yes.
said, I'm sorry.
Campbell's.
You were like Ash from the sky.
Oh my God.
Basically.
Well, El
Dipper.
Sereno is not too far from Altadena.
That's very cheap.
Yeah, but untouched.
I know.
The flats, you
Yeah,
know.
the flats will do it.
No mountain
That's
views
like
you
the
eat
there.
part of the
wings.
chicken. Yeah.
Okay, I was gonna say. Are you a
But-
flats or drumstick kind of girl?
I'll eat it all. But a drumstick is a little too tendony, where the flat chicken, like,
Mhm.
kind of do that twisting thing and
And
pull
then
it all
poke-
off.
And then
with
it just
one piece.
feels like thigh meat.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Have you ever had to eat fried chicken or any type of chicken around a white person and they, like, leave so much of the meat on the bone?
Honestly, I'm kind of that. I honestly haven't really started like with chicken wings until kind of recently.
Oh.
I don't like all the tendony
That's
stuff.
fine.
You're more of a breast girl.
Yeah, the white meat.
I like a
chunky.
I
I
like
grew up with a mother who was always on some sort of diet. The South Beach diet.
Oh my
know,
god.
you remember that?
What is the South Beach
I just
diet?
remember it's a very thick book.
Good to eat
And the diet-
1 page a day.
1 page a day.
Age a day.
Glass of water.
I remember the Atkins. I
Mhm.
I
Oh
I
my
used
God.
to think
My roommate has literally been on some form of Atkins for at least 15 years.
is
Is it
it working?
Is it working?
He looks regular. That's the thing that is so upsetting to me.
This is crazy.
If
to
you're
talk
gonna
about
eat,
your
if
roommate
you're gonna eat,
so publicly like
you know,
this.
I don't. He's a straight white. Well,
Oh, he's never gonna listen.
he's
to
not
this.
gonna listen to this.
Okay,
He
okay,
Latino,
okay.
but he white. So
Yeah.
Not that.
You love a Latino roommate.
me too. I can't get rid of them.
What a strange thing to say.
R.I.P. Juan Chavez.
Right? I forgot he died. Yes.
Yeah. Anyway, not to bring it down, but seamstress. He was an amazing seamstress.
Great seamstress. I had lots of pieces. from
Gowns,
them.
beautiful gowns.
Love
Naomi
beautiful
Smalls. A
gowns.
lot of her costumes for
A lot
Drag
of
Race.
her.
That's sad.
Valentina. A lot of those.
Yeah, he was great.
Yeah. But my nana at my sister's in the fires, I was like, well, she needs a project. So I had her alter my dress
For the premiere?
for the premiere.
Put her to work.
What about her dress?
Put her to work. No, I
She
mean,
was like,
she
at the
said,
home, we do puzzles and play video games. I don't
yeah,
wanna
I don't
alter a
do
dress.
this. And I was like, but Nana, like, it's going to be at the Plaza Hotel in New York. And she said, oh, well, okay. And then we asked her, we are like, what do you think of this dress? She's like, for one night, it's okay.
Not a
she
rewear.
she was not.
Well-
it had some cheap boning in it. And she's like, what is this? She was so upset by like that I
That is
paid money for this
crazy.
dress.
Oh
But that's
my
kind of
God.
like how you talk about your drag when you make a new outfit.
Oh yeah, I'm like, it's for
One night.
Yeah.
And then you wear it.
It just
for
has to hold
2
up.
years.
on the pod.
Oh, I see. It's
'Cause
one
I'm, like,
night at the
seated
club.
At the club, it's gonna fall
At the
apart.
club.
Mhm.
It's kind of like if it rains, it'll just dissolve.
Disintegrate.
Mhm.
Like all the fabric downtown. Wait, where'd you get the dress from?
I got it from this place, Eloquy. Have you
I
heard of
know
Eloquy?
Eloquy. Yeah.
Plus size.
Yeah.
It's like for like, oh, she works at the office, but she wants to go out a little. Like that's, do you know what? Like
Yes,
a lot of,
yes.
a little
I
bit
see-
of shimmer and
It's like
shine,
function with
When
a
I go
little
to the-
razzle
but kind of
dazzle.
modest.
Yeah.
You know,
When I go to Plus Bus, there's like a
a
lot.
lot. There's
of
probably a lot of
Eloquy
my Eloquy there.
stuff. Yes. You and
Plus
Nicole.
Plus is resale.
Yes.
Mhm.
But then they have some designers do like sell pieces there.
Yeah.
Because I almost like rented a dress from them for the We're Here premiere.
Oh, nice.
What happens when you go somewhere and want to rent a dress? They give you a look?
Well, I always said to people, why? Because I'm.
I feel like
trans?
No, I'm just.
I feel like we're so close to Christian Siriano making a dress for you.
Yes.
Like that's within. That's
Like if you were to get a
It's-
TV show
Oh yeah. I'd
and
be
then
like,
you could
"Chri-
ask
oh,
the network to make
Christian."
a
Christian,
request.
because Christian loves a
Yes.
full-figured woman.
No, but I'm more asking about like they're like,
Oh,
oh,
yeah. It's like
you're
when I go to
gonna take-
Walmart and I'm in the bra aisle. You know what I mean? And I'm like, well, they're only $5 here. So
no,
I
I
have
know,
to get
but
them.
when you're gonna like rent a nice dress and they're like, you're gonna put that body in
In
this
this
garment,
Yes. Well, they
or
know
you
me,
pretend to be a stylist.
they know me at
You're
Plus
like,
Bus.
it's for Lizzo.
I
I'm a
often
stylist
pretend like it's for someone else. Because
You
it's
do?
easier than having the conversation.
It's a little honestly. If you're like, well, I work with so and so,
Oh,
and
I
I'm
don't do all
shopping for
that.
them. Oh, okay.
I just go like, oh, it'll fit her. I think it might need more
Not
room in
it'll
the
fit
boob.
her.
Yeah. And they're just like, yeah, fat gay guy doing fat lady stuff.
Yeah, we get it. You're a minion, sure.
Yeah.
You leave the store and they like pull out their little book, open it up, and add one more tally mark to their fat gay guy
Fat
buys
gay guy in
dresses.
here. Check.
That is crazy. Wait, so Night Agent
Yes.
is on Netflix.
Yes.
I watched it.
Did you watch it before season 2 came out? Before you knew I was on it?
No. I was surprised to see you on it.
Okay, that's the best.
You keep popping up on TV.
That's what I'm
shows
talking
randomly,
about.
And I'm always like, oh, Danielle!
And so Night Agent is great. I'm sort of in my like thriller bag.
It's a
these
real
days.
boomer type. Like boomers love that
Yes,
shit.
it's very
Figure it out.
jag.
It
Totally
was
a boomer.
like literally, it was the #1 show on Netflix last year, and I think maybe one of their top like shows of all time.
And I had
Really?
Like boomers love this, and I was like, "What is the Night Agent?" Because it kept showing up on my queue,
Yeah.
like suggested. I was like,
You were
I
like,
don't
it's the U2
know what
album on
this
my
is.
phone. Of
Yeah,
TV
exactly.
shows.
It didn't ask for her. but
My
she
mom's
did.
favorite show.
Wow. Oh,
My
I bet
mom-
she's so happy that you're on it.
So
then.
happy. She loves it. She's
But-
so excited.
But you're kind of a bitch on the show.
You know, just pulling from life.
I was like, oh, Danielle. And then I was like,
Sucking in.
oh, she's
She's the villain.
kind of a bitch.
She's
kind of a villain.
Well, because they make you seem like a little cold but pretty innocent, and then later you're like, "Oh, you're in on it, and you're kind of a."
Kind of
Spoiler alert,
Surprise.
everybody.
Well, I don't know. That doesn't really give away the details.
But yeah, she's
But it's a bingey show.
Mm.
It has twists and turns.
thrillers. The conspiracy goes all the way to the top. Brittany Snow.
Yes, Brittany Snow.
Love
If you
Brittany
love
Snow.
Pitch Perfect,
That was
Brittany Snow
amazing.
surprise.
Anyways, that was so
I really
fun to
want
see
more
on
from
that.
her. I
Well,
guess we'll talk
she's
to her.
doing
agent.
that. She's out there.
You're gonna talk to her agent?
I'm gonna talk to her agent. Be like, we
Remember-
can really get this girl in some more movies.
I like in Pitch Perfect when she's like getting freaky in the shower and she's like, they're naked and she's like, sing to me with your tits touching mine. You know what I mean?
You would. You like public stuff. You love to have out in public, don't you? Because you're a pervert. You ever had in public? We'll get to it. What?
Segment 1.
I don't remember it.
Your car?
I had in my car.
The parks?
I've had in my car. I've had in other people's cars.
Are you backseat diva?
In a van.
A lot of room. It was
Lot
a
of
lot
room.
more
lot of room.
I could lay my seats all the way flat in the back, so it's almost like a bed.
Mhm.
Tinted
Ooh.
windows.
And the first day that I bought my new car, I went in and was like, I want the blackout on the back seat.
Oh.
And then on the inside, they have these like little things.
Oh, the little
shades that come up,
shades.
so it's like you cannot see in the back.
Okay.
Think about it.
All right, we got to take a break. We'll be
'Cause
right
in there. Okay, we'll be right back after this. And we're back.
Oh, I was ready. I was like ready for the.
Are you
And
a
we're
singer?
Back. Are you a singer? Are you working late because you're a singer?
I can sing, not very well. I was in a musical.
What musical?
What music?
The musical.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah, duh.
So I had to like.
That was another
sing.
one where me and the person I went to go see it with were like, Danielle's in everything because we
Wait.
had just watched. What was the other thing with Hedwig?
And the Angry Inch?
Hedwig.
No, he's in it. The guy,
Oh, Jonathan?
but it's about fat people.
Oh, Shrill.
Shrill.
Oh no, I'm not in Shrill.
What was the
Wow.
other one?
Oh, are you? You're confusing me with another fat black woman in Hollywood.
Say their name.
Say their name.
Lolly.
No, it wasn't that. You were in something else.
Special.
Pull up. Special. That's what it was. I knew it was one of those two where it's about someone with something going on in their life.
You know, someone
Wait.
overcoming.
Special and Shrill is what you're
They're kind of the same type of a show if you think about
I
it.
guess it's like a writer where
And they
their
were shot
boss
and they
doesn't
look
believe
very
in them.
similar.
and they're
Like the way they're shot is kind of similar.
you're being wild.
Wow.
Mayo. Thoughts?
You know, yeah, it's just an honor to be seen.
What did you say?
I said Mayo.
Oh.
And what did you think she said?
I don't know.
Good for
But
you.
good for you.
Because you really
for
yes
you.
anded. No, this is wild and crazy.
Mayo
I'm on
is
one
nasty, though. I will go on record
Why
and say
is that?
mayo is because it's gross. It's
So
very
what about
white.
a BLT?
I don't want mayo on
What
that.
about an egg
Wait,
salad?
wait. Before you rattle off, what would you have on the BLT?
Mustard?
Nothing.
No.
Dry?
Dry.
Dry.
Well, the tomato is wet.
The tomato
lettuce,
is
if it's-
juicy
if
and
it's
a
an
nice juicy
Heirloom tomato.
a juicy heirloom tomato, a nice thick juicy bacon.
Ooh,
You know what I mean?
it has a
Yeah.
little moisture to
It has a
it.
little. You don't need it. That's what I feel.
I
You
would
don't
also have a
need
little
it.
butter on whatever the toast is.
Oh, butter would work.
Exactly.
I always like one
Right?
slice of cheddar cheese on my BLTs.
Oh.
Okay, that's
Is that
not
weird?
a BLT at all.
Well,
Well,
I
it
would
is,
argue.
but it's
I would argue a
BLT.
BLT without mayo is often
not a BLT.
It's not BLT and mayo. We call it a
It's an
BLT.
expected thing. It's like asking for a club sandwich and being like, but no bacon.
That's not. I don't believe you.
Because the clubs. Club
Because
got
in the
bacon.
club,
we
we
all
all
have
are a
bacon.
In
sandwich.
the club, we all have an extra piece of bread right in the middle.
Is a club sandwich basically just a BLT with chicken?
Well, I thought a club sandwich came with turkey,
Sure.
Yeah.
famously.
And I thought
Poultry.
it had to have that extra. I
Yes.
thought mostly it was like about the extra bread thing.
It's a double
It's like
stack.
a tower.
Okay.
And then it's cut into those horribly hard to eat triangles with a toothpick.
Oh yeah, and so
And then
you're like,
sometimes the toothpick gets hidden and then you bite the toothpick.
That sounds like a very specific and personal problem.
It happens to
it
me
happens
a lot.
anytime I get one. Sorry.
How often are you guys eating club sandwiches? Like,
He's the sandwich boy.
I'm a go-to with the club.
He's like,
which
he'll-
is
if
why
he
I'm
sees a
upset about
diner,
the
he's
mayo.
like, let's
That's all
go.
I'm saying.
Yeah, I love mayonnaise. I dip my French fries in mayonnaise.
oh God, that's so European.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh.
We're worldly,
We've been.
Danielle.
You've been abroad?
Yeah.
you travel abroad from time to time.
And I eat mayonnaise
Brag.
everywhere I go. I bring my own mayonnaise right now. It's in my bag.
You carry? Okay, that
just
is
kidding. I don't.
unrefrigerated and a health hazard.
I like when it gets clear. And
They sell it on the shelf unrefrigerated.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
then you
but then
have
once
to
you
refrigerate it once you
open
open
it-
it.
Who said?
And this one just
The-
carrying around
the
loose
thing.
mayo.
Do you know about spaghetti sauce?
What about it?
Like a can of red sauce.
Okay.
What about it?
You crack it open, right? You buy it from the shelf. You store it in the cupboard. You
Uh-huh.
crack it open. You heat it up. Where do you do with the jar?
You put it in the refrigerator.
Correct. And it stays in the fridge for how long?
About 2 weeks.
10 days.
A month.
10 days.
3 days.
Why?
Then it's bad. That's what they say.
But I think that's why we cook food is to kill the germs. So I would just cook it extra hot.
I feel like people keep spaghetti
think
sauce for a
tomato-
long
people
time
do,
in their
but
fridge.
Anything more than 10 days is really, you're real wild with that. But I think tomatoes, because they have so much acidity and sweetness, is preservative. So you're kind of okay there.
I love the facts that we spew on this show.
Yeah,
'cause
we're
I
gonna,
mean,
we're
we're
gonna- we're gonna-
just-
so many people are gonna get mad.
Any
But I
sense.
believe that those like, oh, get rid of this by this date is kind of like more of a suggestion. Like I want to smell it, and if it smells off,
Yeah.
Yeah.
or if
Yes.
it looks like it has like little white dots or any type of mold, then I'm like,
Yeah,
no,
then-
that's a no.
That's a no. That's a bad. Unless
That's a bad.
you are the owner of Squirrel and then you see those white moldy dots and
Are
you
you the
scoop
owner
them
of
off
this squirrel?
and then you just sell it.
We
Drama.
talked about squirrel.
Talk about LA drama.
Can you believe that Squirrel is still, they were called out on the internet in the height of the Black Lives Matter movement.
Uh-huh.
And it-
A gentrifying force in Los Angeles East Side. And they are still in business with their moldy
and they still get lines around the block.
preserves.
And
Crazy.
it's like,
what I don't understand.
I don't understand how it was
Okay.
had time. Shut the up. How it had time to mold if they were as popular.
if they're that busy.
If they're that busy.
Because they didn't can it right, because it didn't have as much sugar. Like, I guess that was like part of the whole deal, is that like, oh, it's preserved, but it doesn't have as much sugar as other preserves, like canned preserves.
Mm.
And the thing that keeps canned preserves from like going bad is the sugar. Like, sugar is a natural preservative.
Right.
So if it already didn't have enough of a sugar content and they're storing it all like in buckets
Right.
in a hidden secret room.
What I never
An
understood.
unrefrigerated room.
What I never understood about Squirrel is like once
Why
they
is it
got
popular? And
so
why is Maru
busy
coffee
and
so
popular.
It's
Mhm.
gross.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, you go.
What I was thinking. You
No,
had
you
my
go.
thoughts coming
No,
out of
go
your
right on
mouth.
ahead. Go ahead.
Okay. What I never understood is why they didn't just go to another location where they could have more tables. Like they just kept expanding and
Yeah.
like breaking these little bits up, and you have to like sit on the street next to a parking meter, and it's like so unglamorous, but all these like hip people think it's glamorous to go. Like
I think it's
never
glamorous
understood-
to encroach on like a working class community.
I'm like, just go somewhere that has a parking lot and like used to be a Payless shoe source and like take over the whole thing and like make your business bigger.
It's probably the commercial real
Real
rent
estate
is
so
probably
crazy.
crazy expensive.
It
Yeah,
just
and that was
seems-
like cheap real estate.
Yeah.
I guess.
And I think also, yeah, I mean, I'm
I
sure
hate driving down that street.
Oh, it's so bad.
it's like, I'm sure they were violating like labor laws. Like, I don't think they were all that great to their employees either.
That's
Now I'm just like
crazy.
spouting thoughts and opinions.
Slander. That's all we do. Okay, I
Fuck
need
squirrel.
to. Shockingly, I need to correct myself.
Mm.
What?
It doesn't say 3 days. It says 5 to 7 days
Mm.
for spaghetti sauce. But my argument still stands,
That's why I say 10.
which
We're-
is like
it's enough.
Yeah.
if you make if you live alone and you make pasta and say maybe you do like half the
Jar.
jar, then you put it away, and that's probably 2 or 3 or 1 serving, depending on how you eat. Are you gonna make pasta again within 5 days?
That's what happens with me. I love the carbone, the spicy,
Oh
Sure.
yeah.
and you
Yeah.
add the cream to it.
Mhm.
And that's always what happens because I use half of it. And
And
then
then
I
you're
don't.
like, I'm not
But
ready for
what
this
I
meal
should
again.
do is
Catch me
freeze
on I was
it.
about to say, what if we start freezing it?
Well, then, that's planning ahead.
Right.
We're not gonna do that.
And the
in
challenge with that
Real
is
fly by the
thinking
seat of
to
my
your future
pants
self.
kind of gal.
Well, I just think my go-to thing, I just visited my parents and I got in the car and my sister was like, Mom she's been talking about you in the fridge. I was like, what? I immediately was like, she thinks I'm gonna go in there too much and eat too much of her food. Like that's my trauma with
No,
my mom.
that's my mom.
You get in the
My
car
mom
and,
would
like,
also-
tilt sideways like the Flintstones.
All right. But then
Because
she
he's fat.
but then she says, no, she's been speculating on what you're gonna shame her for and try to throw out from the
Wow.
fridge.
Is your mom like old? Is she like elderly and like trying to does she freeze bread?
Yes,
Ew,
and also
who freezes bread?
It's like
Tons
a
of
real
people
old
freeze
people.
bread.
It's an old people thing.
my parents have never frozen
it's
bread.
my entire life. There's been a loaf of bread in the freezer.
But doesn't that change the texture and make it all like
Bread
weird?
actually keeps very well in the freezer.
Yeah.
Whoa.
No, it's for real.
It does.
It is a real thing, but
and
it
then
is
your
also
loaf
like
doesn't get moldy on the counter. That's what a bread box is for. It's one step towards the freezer.
what is a bread box?
What you keep your bread in on the
Bird
counter?
box. Sandra Bullock couldn't open her eyes.
No, you know the old phrase,
Blindfolded.
bigger than a bread box?
Babe, I don't know about that. That's not how I'm measuring.
That's not something
That's
I've
not how
ever
I'm
heard in
measuring
my life.
mass
Are
or
you
volume.
kidding? I spy with my little eye something that's green. What's your first question that you ask me?
What?
The game I Spy.
I spy with my little eye something that's green. I'd be like, is it that?
That?
No.
That?
Is it my dress?
That?
Your
I mean,
question
is
is
it the
that?
ladder?
Question mark?
It's green.
People often say, is it bigger than a bread box?
No
Or
one
is this
saying that.
white people say
White people, speak up.
White people.
That's all we need is more of your voices.
White people see something and say something.
white people from the Midwest validate the bread box.
I've also,
We need your voices now more than ever.
also we would play like my I Spy and
See, you know I Spy.
but it was never bread box.
But not a
we
bread
would
box,
it was
babe.
only a game that we'd play while we were driving
In
and
a
then
car.
it would literally be like 2 minutes would go by and they go, we passed it.
Yeah.
So then we-
Oh, yeah. Oh, it's the
Yeah.
billboard from exit
it was back
84.
you didn't see it, but it was back there. And it's like, okay, this game sucks.
Yeah. It's a car trip. It's a road trip, kind of. I'm not in my kitchen.
I'm not in my room doing that. I'm not in here going, well, but was it this?
That's literally how I learned. It was nothing. It was just an example. And that's literally how I learned
Is that how you learned what bread was?
what a bread box was.
Oh, wow. Okay,
I
so it
knew-
was an educational tool. Bread
Everything.
boxes are just an educational tool.
Well, no, the game was a pathway to me learning what a bread box was. But I think it only makes sense if you eat a lot of sandwiches.
You are such a sandwich boy. Are you a sandwich diva?
yeah, I like sandwiches. I mean, I make a good sandwich. Here's the thing. If I'm going to make a good sandwich,
I'm not making sandwiches.
it takes a long time to make a good sandwich. And I don't want to
Yes.
spend all this energy on a sandwich.
Yeah.
I want to just pay someone for a good sandwich. So that's kind of my problem because it's like, I don't want to eat a Fire Festival ass sandwich.
Right.
At home.
Right, yes.
But I have all the tools, right, to make a good quality sandwich. I don't want to spend the
Except-
energy. I don't want to spend the energy.
Except-
Like an
Except
heirloom
for a
tomato.
Mayo.
No mayo.
But I always feel like if I'm gonna make a sandwich, it's like, what am I gonna do with all the ingredients that are like left over?
That's
Like
That's
I'm gonna have
tricky.
a whole onion basically. I'm gonna have a half pack of ham.
You know what is a good hack instead of getting an onion? Shallots.
Shallots.
Shallot.
I love shallots.
A shallot is, it's a little fancy.
Do
She's
they have
got a
them at
little
Trader
less
Joe's?
bite. Yeah. But the produce at Trader Joe's isn't very good.
No,
I
they get it. They get theirs last.
Yeah. I feel like you should really get your produce like at Sprouts.
Or
Sprouts is good.
Sprouts, Whole Foods. What's the other one?
The farmer's market.
Farmers
Wow.
Market.
Shop local.
Wow. You support a small business?
I love small businesses. They're full of mold. Wait, so do you do stand up all the time in LA? What's your vibe? What are you up to?
Yeah, I do stand up. I Sure.
Well, I
No.
don't know. Do you like
I
go
do.
out and do mics a lot? Like, are you
I
booked
don't do.
on shows?
I don't really
Like,
do. I'm booked on shows.
Yeah.
I'm not like actively like book me on your show.
Yeah.
But I'll do. I'm doing stand up. I'm trying to figure out like what do I want to talk about.
Right.
So much is happening.
Well,
And I'm not really a political comedian. Like I think some people are really good at the world is on fire, and I can really zero in on what is funny about it.
Yeah.
But I think it really just makes me angry, and like me
Yes.
being angry is not funny.
right.
Absolutely.
No, it's so easy to just be like, well, here comes the existential dread.
Yeah.
Here comes like, should I just reiterate what we all saw on the news?
Right. Yeah. It's like, no one needs to hear me just,
like ramble on
Ramble
about,
on
how
about
terrible everything is.
the state
I feel
of
like
the
that's all I
world.
do.
But unless there's like something that like is actually a real thought, you know what I mean? Like a real
Or
unexpected
like a take,
twist.
something. Yeah.
A hot take, that is not what everyone's hot take is.
Yeah.
So, but I'm doing an hour at Union Hall.
Oh, hell
shit.
yeah!
That's really
That's
York.
incredible.
So I'm excited about that. I'm doing that in March. And so, because I'm going to be in New York for a comedy festival, Knockouts Comedy Festival.
Amazing.
And so I haven't done like a proper hour in a really long time. And so it's going to be a lot of like what I have done, but just also new stuff. It's called Danielle Perez, The Last Party Girl.
You are the last party girl.
Just a real 30, you're old, who's hanging on to the last vestiges
You
of
are quite the party
having-
girl.
having
She's
fun.
always like one of the last people to leave Fat Slut. We're always like at the bar and they're like, no more drinks. And I'm like, but there's more for me and her, right?
We're not cut off.
We're not cut off. That's for the regulars.
We live here now.
This is my home.
Well,
It kind of is.
for you.
Should have won Barfly. Didn't get it. Didn't get nominated.
Okay, that's an upset.
Just to not even be nominated. I'm there 3 times a week.
Well, some people are probably there 5.
Oof. You know?
Oof. You know what I mean?
Even for a party girl to say oof,
Even for a
y'all.
party
Wait,
girl,
go
no.
home.
Do you love that movie, Party Girl? Do you know it well?
Oh my God, with Parker
Parker
Posey?
Posey.
Yes.
I miss, and the young people will not like this comment, but I sort of miss that style of movie, which was not only of the time, but also that it was like independent.
Yeah.
Yes.
Where there was like a little more like space
Yeah.
in the film.
Yeah.
There's like a scene that it's just like a shot of something and then like her looking and then like someone else looking and then she sort of smiles and twirls and then like walks away and you're like, what happened? It's like, it's just a vibe.
Yeah.
It's just a vibe in the middle of the film.
It's not like a constant, we're pushing the plot forward,
Right.
which is wild because it's like, I don't think that movie is more than 90 minutes.
No.
But now we got these 3-hour-long movies and it's like, for what? Why?
Well, they're full of
Make a mini series at this
wizardry.
point.
Well, because she sings and then she flies away on a broom at the end, and so that's understandable.
I
we
mean,
need that.
I get stage productions those are usually around like 3 hours once everything's all said and done, 2-3
Sure,
hours.
including the intermish.
Yeah. But
So
yeah.
you weren't a fan of Wicked, is that what you're going to
No,
say?
I loved
Are you going to
Wicked.
go on public record and say that?
I
You're gonna
loved
say that you're gonna
it.
come
You're
in
gonna
right
say
here
that it
and
was-
say,
I'm gonna come
too
in here.
long.
I'm gonna look you both in the eyes.
she's like, actually, I have a whole hour. It's called The Last Wicked Fan, and it's about how much I hate it.
I love Wicked. I saw it. I saw it in San Francisco when it was on tour, and I cried when she went up and flies because she flies in the
She
stage
flies on the-
version.
Yeah.
She gets up there and she
We've
flies.
seen it.
And her whole dress expands and covers the whole. It's gorgeous.
Yes.
I cried, real tears.
Well, and that's why her cape expanded in the film.
That's why it kept getting longer
wow!
and longer.
Look at that callback.
I can't tell.
Have
Have you seen the movie or not?
No,
I
she-
can't tell.
I don't think she's seen it.
You haven't seen the
I've
movie.
seen the.
Because
guys
you're
are
just
so
referencing.
funny.
I don't think you've seen the play either.
No,
I
she
think you're-
has seen the
I
play.
think you're lying.
She's read Reddit threads and she's like,
She was like, hold on, I'm doing
like,
the
what
pod.
is the
I have
correct
to read up on
take?
Wicked.
I'm like, I'm going into the lion's den. I need to read up. I need to know my facts.
Wait, did you see the movie?
I did.
Yes.
I fully did.
I think
You're-
You know what? Okay, you want to know how
Call
I saw
back.
No, and she's now changing the subject. Keep going.
I During Wicked, I cried. The first time I cried in
The
Wicked,
theater
You've said-
production.
The movie.
You've said.
The movie.
in the movie,
Okay.
was when, Elphaba's like doing her little dance, doing her little jig,
Uh-huh.
doing her little, and it's embarrassing.
This.
And
Someone told me that they cried during that scene.
And then,
and I was like, that was the
'cause it's
most
silent.
unbearable scene of the movie.
no. It's not when she's doing it. It's when Galinda joins her.
I hated that.
And because it's silent, there is no music, and it's like Cynthia Erivo's like acting of like just her being able to emote in silence. Like, I don't even think there was music like happening, where it's like this woman is so deeply alone and embarrassed and just wants to feel seen, and Galinda offers her that lifeline. Tears. I was moved.
And she dropped it.
That's the one scene that they've been playing at all the awards shows.
Oh, is that what they're?
So that's why she knows that
That's the
scene, because she
campaign?
hasn't seen the movie.
That's the campaign.
That's right. She hasn't seen the movie.
Wow, Meatball, a wicked truther.
All right.
And the earth is flat.
How
You
do
know what?
you-
I love a woman with opinions,
How
and
do
I
you
love a woman
figure-
And
who
I
brings no
voted for
facts to
Trump.
the table.
Well, this we know.
Okay, you and Candace
Candace who?
Owens.
Owens.
Oh, Owens. Yeah, I hate that. All right, we'll be right back after this break.